Lesson 85, The Senses. Hello, and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to learn useful vocabulary for talking about the 5 basic senses, using sense verbs, describing appearances and impressions, and distinguishing between several easily confused verbs. A. The 5 basic senses. The 5 basic senses are sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Sight is the ability to see. Hearing is the ability to hear. Taste is the ability to taste food and drink. Smell is the ability to notice smells. Touch is the ability to feel something through physical contact. We can also express these senses using the verbs see, hear, taste, smell, and feel. B. Sense verbs with adjectives. Sense verbs can be followed by adjectives to describe the impression that someone or something gives us. We use look followed by an adjective to describe something according to what we can see. For example, you look tired this evening. This means that, from the person's appearance, they seem tired. We use sound followed by an adjective to describe an impression based on what we hear. That man sounded foreign. This means that, from the way he spoke, he seemed to come from another country. We use taste followed by an adjective to describe the flavor of food or drink. This cake tastes a bit strange. We use smell followed by an adjective to describe the smell of something. Fresh bread smells wonderful. We use feel followed by an adjective to describe the physical condition or texture of something. This shirt feels damp. The adjective damp means slightly wet, often in an unpleasant way. Language help. Sense verbs as nouns. The sense verbs look, sound, taste, smell, and feel can also be used as nouns. For example, I like the look of this hotel. Here, the look of something means its appearance. We can also say, I love the sound of his voice. Here, the sound of his voice refers to the way his voice sounds. C. Sense verbs with like. We can use a sense verb followed by like and a noun when two things seem similar. The important structure is sense verb followed by like and a noun. For example, have you ever had a nectarine? They look like peaches. Here, the nectarines and peaches have a similar appearance. When a noise resembles the sound of an alarm, we can say, did you hear that noise? It sounded like an alarm. To compare one smell with another, we can say, that shampoo smells like coconut. We can also say, that shampoo smells of coconut. To describe how a material feels when you touch it, you can say, do you not think this material feels like silk? Sense verbs with as if and as though. We use as if or as though followed by a complete clause when describing the impression that a person or situation gives us. For example, that boy looks as if he is trying to get over the wall. The speaker forms this impression from what the boy appears to be doing. We can also say, I spoke to Isabel. It sounded as though they had a good time on holiday. The conversation gave the speaker the impression that the people had enjoyed their holiday. Common mistakes. Use like followed by a noun, not like followed directly by an adjective. Correct. She looks nice. Correct. She looks like her sister. Incorrect. She looks like nice. Use see a film at the cinema, not watch a film at the cinema. Correct. I saw a film at the cinema. Incorrect. I watched a film at the cinema. Language help. Seem and appear. We also use seem and appear to describe an impression or feeling about someone or something after seeing them, speaking to them, or learning about a situation. For example, I saw Will, and he seemed quite happy. We can also say, I saw Will, and he appeared quite happy. Both sentences mean that Will gave the impression of being happy. We can use seem to be or appear to be. The shop seems to be very busy. The shop appears to be very busy. Before like followed by a noun, we usually use seem. For example, Amelia said she wanted to travel a bit, which seems like a good idea. D. Look and see. The verbs look and see are related, but their meanings are different. To look at something means to direct your attention towards it carefully. To see something means to be able to notice it with your eyes. For example, if you look at the map, you can see the church on the left. First, you direct your attention towards the map. You are then able to notice the church. Watch, look and see. To watch someone or something means to pay attention to them, often for a period of time. For example, they have been watching that man for weeks. When someone is not paying attention to where they are going, we use look. He ran into me because he was not looking. When talking about films on television, both watch and see are possible. I watched a film on television. I saw a film on television. When talking about going to the cinema, use see. I saw a film at the cinema. Hear and listen. To hear something means to be able to notice a sound. To listen means to pay attention to a sound or to what someone is saying. For example, I heard what she said, but I was not listening. The speaker was physically able to hear the words, but was not paying proper attention to them. Touch and feel. To touch something means to put your hand or another part of your body on it. For example, do not touch the oven. It is hot. To feel something means to touch it in order to discover information about it. For example, just feel my feet. Are they not cold? Here, the speaker wants another person to touch their feet and notice how cold they are.